So this is the reason why I love this brand new card. So cycle it away. Indestructible. Your Gallisto Sunslayer does nothing. Sorry, opponents. We still are going to force our way through because dinosaurs are too dumb to know when to quit. Any case, Land War Elves, and we'll pass. All right, opponents. Do you have another answer? You've got one turn. One turn. Unholy Annex. And there you go, everybody. Hello, my fiery friends, the Infernoman here with the hottest in budget deck technology. And for today's deck tech, out of all the sets to give us brand new dinosaur cards, definitely Ether Drift, a racing set, was not on my list of those kinds of sets.
Vroom, vroom.
And yet, here we are. So without further ado, join me today in the standard format for a mono green Stompy deck that I'm simply calling Stompysaurus. Longtime viewers of the channel know how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So Stompysaurus is as simple as can be. We're going to be all in on mono green. Our average mana curve is going to be 2.8, and you're looking at, literally just 28 creatures, 4 sorceries, 4 enchantments, and 24 lands. Stompysaurus, as the name implies, is going to try to unlock your inner Timmy in Standard. We're going to be playing a couple of mana dorks to hopefully cheat out a lot of bigger, badder dinosaurs, and hopefully we'll just overwhelm our opponent with the giant amount of damage they can swing at and smash our way to victory. That's as simple as this deck can be. But you may be asking yourself right now, how do we pull that off on such a small budget of only 12 rares?
Good question!
Well, I'm glad you asked, so let's not waste any more time and show you how this deck works. Starting in the 1-drop slot, we will utilize Land War Elves, the mainstay, of course, of any other mono green deck where we just want to ramp as fast as possible, and along with Ixalan's Lorekeeper here, which can tap for any color, as long as, of course, we're spending on dinosaur spells, but we are completely stacked with them, so this should be no issue for us. Going into the 3-drop slot here, we'll have a brand new card thanks to Ether Drift here, Regal Imperiosaur, a 3-mana lord here that just gives all of our dinosaurs a +1/+1 pump, and also the fact that, wow, those stats are actually pretty insane for a 3-drop. 5/4. Speaking again of ridiculous dinosaurs at 3 drops, we will also utilize Pugnacious Hammerskull here. This amazing 3-mana 6/6, wow, that's incredible stats again, that allows us to then just do some massive damage. However, if we don't have a dinosaur on the battlefield, it will get a stun counter once it does declare an attack. So keep that in mind. You want to wait to swing with this after you at least have one other dinosaur out. In the 4-drop slot, we'll use some more budget options for us. We'll utilize Colossal Dactyl here, a 4/5 that's a 4 mana. It has reach, but it also has trample, so it's great for blocking whether it's on the ground or in the air. Pathfinding Axechew here is going to be another one of our sweet 4-drops here. It's a 4/3, but when it enters, you get to explore. For those of you who have forgotten what explore means, all that simply says is you just reveal the top card of your library, you put that card into your hand if it's a land, but otherwise you can put a +1/+1 counter on this creature and put that card back or put it into your graveyard. So this is excellent filtering for us just to make sure we can either get our land drops or pump it up and throw what we don't need into the graveyard. However, the biggest star of the show, no pun intended by the way, is going to be the one and only Aganosaur Rex. Wow, this is an incredible card that's a 5-drop here. So let's talk about this card for just a moment. Aganosaur Rex is a 5-mana 8/8 that's a dinosaur with trample, and it also has the cycling ability. So if you do cycle this card, you put 2 +1/+1 counters on onto one target creature or vehicle, and that will gain trample and indestructible until end of turn. So this is an amazingly powerful card if you put it on the battlefield, or if you just want to utilize it to then just protect one of your other key cards to make sure you can push through the remaining points of damage. Although we are going to be primarily a creature focused deck, we do have a little bit of support for us for non-creature spells. So in the 1-drop slot, we will have Bushwhack here, so we can utilize this either to dig out a basic land we want in the early game and put it into our hand, or you can utilize it to have any one of our dinosaurs fight another creature our opponent controls. So this can be utilized again as pseudo spot removal against pesky chump blockers. But say if your opponent is throwing a bunch of chump blockers at you, like for example a bunch of tokens, and you kind of don't want to deal with all that, then your next best option is, thanks to Foundations, this card right here, Garruk's Uprising. So we'll talk about this card for just a moment. Garrick's Uprising is a 3-mana enchantment that reads, when this enchantment enters, if you control a creature with a power of 4 or greater, draw a card. And then creatures we control will have trample. Whenever a creature we control with power 4 or greater enters, draw a card. So this is our perfect card draw engine because we have a ton of big dinosaurs that every time they enter, this will help us just keep making sure we keep our hand full of cards to keep answering our opponent and make sure we do have enough gas to smash our way to victory. As far as your mana base is concerned, we're going to keep this as simple as it can be for your lands. So 20 force is all you need and 3 copies of Amonkhet Raceway. This will of course enact the start your engines mechanic, which can help us out in the late game, because if we get to max speed with this, you can tap down this land to give any one of our creatures haste until end of turn, which is perfect for us to smash through in case that maybe our opponent is trying to stall out our game plan. And a single copy of Demolition Field here, mostly to round out the package against enemy non-basic lands we honestly don't want to deal with. If you're interested in taking this to best of 3, here's what I would recommend for you. As always, for your graveyard hate, pick Soul Guide Lantern here. We'll also utilize, of course, copies of Cosmic Hunger for additional spot removal to take out enemy planeswalkers, creatures, or even battles in a pinch. Armored Kincolor here doesn't seem like anything special, but we mostly want this down just to have another body on the field, and also helps us gain some life, so it stabilizes great against aggro decks. Blanchwood Armor here in case we need one really big dinosaur to get a +1/+1 pump for each force we control. And to round out our package for Artifact and Enchantment Hate, we'll utilize Thrashing Brontodon here. And that is going to be Stompysaurus for you for the standard format. So I don't know about you, but I was actually super happy to see that we actually got a little bit of extra dinosaur support for us thanks to Ether Drift. So let's take advantage of those brand new cards with our deck today. Let's play some games in the standard format and let's see how well this deck can do. But before we continue, if you do like any of the content that I do, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content. You can support me monthly for a small amount on Patreon, where I have all of my extended bonus footage posted. We also have a Redbubble spot where you can buy merch like stickers and shirts, or for free, all you can just do also is just join our growing community on Discord. Your support helps keep this channel going. All links are in the details below. Okay, my fire friends, here we go. Can we stomp our way to victory with Stompysaurus? Well, looks like the good news, of course, is we have plenty of forest, we have a mana dork here, and we have some hammer skulls and an Agnosaurus Rex here. Did I say I don't know what I just said right there. Agnosaurus Rex. Words are hard, by the way. You get what I'm trying to say. Either way, we have the dinosaurs we need. So let's just keep this hand, and let's see if we can just get to our victory. So we'll throw down our forest right here, and our lore keeper. And all right, opponent, show me what you got.
Bring it on.
Can you handle our dinosaurs? All right, so we got another mana dork, forest down. We'll put down the pugnacious hammer skull now. All right, our dinosaurs are coming. Another force for our opponent there. All right, we got a colossal dactyl, which is not bad either. So with that, I guess we'll put down the colossal dactyl now and swing. Down to 14 already. All right, opponent, clock's ticking. You honestly are probably going to have at best here 2 turns to stop us. Ooh, Glissa Sunslayer. Ooh, that's a disgusting card. But we can afford to get around that. So here's how we do this. So let's go ahead and swing, and let's see what our opponent's going to try to do here. Our opponent may think we're going to get a little cheeky, but we have a game plan for this. Just watch. Okay, so this is the reason why I love this brand new card. So cycle it away. Indestructible. Your Glissa Sunslayer does nothing. Sorry, opponents. We still are going to force our way through because dinosaurs are too dumb to know when to quit. Any case, Land War Elves, and we'll pass. All right, opponents. Do you have another answer? You've got 1 turn. 1 turn. Unholy Annex. And there you go, everybody. Fast as can be. We don't care what our opponent was doing. They thought they had the upper hand with Glissa, but we had just the right hand to stomp on them. Man, Stompysaurus, everybody. You gotta love it. Okay, my fire friends, here we go. Can we get our victory with Stompysaurus? Well, we don't have a 3-drop dinosaur, which is a little awkward, but that's okay. I think we can still get there with this. We have plenty of mana dorks to work with here. I think the best option is going to be Land War Elves first. So, Land War Elves. Our opponent may think we're either mono green or we're going to be elves. One or the other. Do they have removal, though? Oh, they have Torture Tower. That's annoying. That's okay. It's still the early part of the game, so we have plenty of time, of course, to do our thing. Let's get Amonkhet Raceway to start our engines. Vroom, vroom.
Vroom.
Okay. Okay. Capsuline Forest. Seed of Hope. Oh, okay, they're milling. Okay, so what do they mill? Oh, okay. So this is actually a brand new card I haven't had a chance to kind of play with yet. Afterburner Expert might be a problem for us, but we'll see in a bit. Meanwhile, our opponent just keeps killing our mana dorks, which is, again, annoying, but this is fine. We can still find a way around this. It's not the worst thing. Lore Keeper. Alright, mana dork number 3. So it's probably obvious. So this will definitely tell our opponent we have something else here. Jeez, Glitter Angel too. At this point, we're going to have to hard cast our actually big dinosaurs here, which is going to be hilarious if we actually get to that point. Right? Alright, opponent is also getting all their lands in. Fear of missing out, so they got the FOMO. Literally, they have the FOMO. The good news, of course, is now we're going to have such a big dinosaur on the field, we actually don't care how much removal they have, because I seriously doubt they'll have enough to stop an 8/8. Okay. Here we go. Bushwhack. And we got our big dumb dinosaur here. Well, I don't actually want to believe he's dumb. Let's not say that about him. Sorry about that, Aganosaur Rex. We don't mean to call you dumb. Honestly, it's just because we just think you're just a big scary dinosaur, that's all.
Huh?
What do you got? So you got a couple cards in the library here. Okay, Seed of Hope. Let's do some more milling. Not a big deal for us because, again, our big dinosaur right here is going to be hopefully doing enough damage where we actually don't care what they're doing. Paw Patch Recruit. All right. A Dragonautics Engineer. Interesting. Do they exhaust? They do. All right. Well, that is a choice. But the good news, of course, is we can block for a bit, so this is not the worst thing for us. But I think we might have to hit that Fear of Missing Out first, just to get that out of the way. Okay, so they untap. Take out the Fear of Missing Out first. Down to 14. Nope. Okay. So with that, we will play... How do we do this here? I think we'll have to do Colossal Dactyl. We will Bushwhack, fighting one of their creatures here. Let's see. I guess we take out... We don't really care what they put that +1/+1 counter on, because we can still take out whatever. Alright. Creature down. We swing. And then we hit them down to 14, so yeah, we're still in range. And we're up to 2nd gear on our engine.
2nd gear!
Right, another land for our opponents. Questing Druid coming down. Last card, opponent, what is it? Ooh, Dragonautics Engineer number 2. Okay. Do they exhaust? They don't. Okay, well, that's a choice. So with that, we will block here. We go down to 9. A little low, but it's not the end for us. Okay, Amonkhet Raceway number 2. But at this point, we just need bigger creatures to get onto the field. Gotta keep that pressure on our opponent there. Do you block opponents? They do. But thankfully, our creatures have trample too, so we actually don't care. Down to 4. Alright. Well, Questing Druid will be back. We actually don't care. We're now also at 3rd gear, by the way, so we're ready to go into overdrive. Okay, opponents, you've got 2 creatures in hand, no other cards, and we have 1 big beefy dinosaur, so hopefully this should be enough to stop our opponent, even if that dragon does provide a decent blocker. Okay, wow. GG here, opponent. All right. Well, the good news, of course, is we can take out the Afterburner now. Down to 2. Ugh. Bad. But that's not enough because our opponent loses on the backswing, and they knew that ahead of time and have given up. So there you go, everybody. Okay, my fire friends, here we go. Can Stompysaurus smash his way to victory? Well, the only awkward part about this hand is we don't have a mana dork. If we had at least 1 mana dork, this would be an amazing hand. But at the same time, I kind of want to hold on to it because just in case if our opponent goes first and we do top deck one of our mana dorks, this will be a beautiful hand. So let's go ahead. You know what? We'll take a chance. Let's keep this hand. Our dinosaurs are big enough where even whatever they have shouldn't be affected, but we'll see. All right, we got a Colossal Dactyl. So in that case, we'll put down Amonkhet Raceway. So start our engines. 1st gear, everybody. All right, planes. Ooh, so is this an artifact deck? Maybe they might actually outdo us here, but we'll see. Fabrication Foundry. Okay, well, we'll see. Will our opponent beat us out with our big dinosaurs right now? They have technically enough where they can start doing their thing. Ooh, Iron Crag, okay. Should I be concerned in the next turn or so? But I guess we'll find out. All right, Garrick's Uprising is pretty nice. So, if anything, if it all falls apart, we can at least start drawing more cards once we start getting our dinosaurs down next turn. Nothing? Oh, okay. Alright. So, well, guess we'll get down our first dinosaur. Start drawing some cards. We really could use lands, though. That's what we need right now. If we can get at least 1 or 2 more extra lands, we're in a good spot. But I'm still thinking our opponent has to have some kind of removal. They have to have something. There's no way they're going to let us just... Oh, there it is. There's the first piece of removal. So they're in first gear now. And we lose our Hammer Skull. But that's okay. We still have an entire hand here of dinosaurs that are just waiting right now to get cast. Repurposing Bay. Okay. Right, Repurposing Bay does its thing. Okay. Well, the Iron Crag gets sacrificed. It does come back. Simulacrum Synthesizer. Ooh, okay.
I'm in danger!
This might be a problem for us. They might actually make constructs bigger than our dinosaurs, but we'll see if we can just outrun them. Alright, we got a Bushwhack. Not what I wanted right now, but I guess I'll take it. Pugnacious Hammer Skull, number 2. Draw a card. Oh, come on, deck. We have literally 24 cards in this deck that are just lands and we can't find another land. Oh, jeez, this is so awkward. Okay, I guess we'll have to throw away a card here. We want to make sure that at least Pathfinding Axejaw can get us at least another card, maybe hopefully another land. The Aganosaur Rexes will, of course, will have to be here just to protect us ourselves, and the Regal Imperiosaur will pump up our creatures, so we have to keep all of that. If nothing else next turn, at least maybe a Bushwhack or 2 is probably all we need to get around our opponent here. But unfortunately, they have just the right removable against our big dinosaurs. There is still time to get back into this fight. Opponent is tapping out primarily. I'm so itching right now to get all of these dinosaurs out. I really hope we can, though. Okay, they got their second synthesizer, and here come the constructs. Man, they're actually going to outpower our dinosaurs, because we actually don't have an answer for them, at least not in the main deck. One of our mana dorks too little too late. But okay, let's see if we can try to find a way around this. So let's Bushwhack first. We usually got at least 1 land. So Forest, put that down, and then we will put down our Regal Imperiosaur. Come on, deck, give me another land. 1 more land. Okay, that is good. So at least we can get our land drop for sure next turn. Unidentified hovership. Ooh. Jeez. Alright, well, I guess it couldn't be too good to be true. So our opponent right here is just gonna keep locking out our dinosaurs. Taking them away in UFOs. Locking them out in cages here. And it is not looking good right now for us. Alright. We're a little too slow, but we'll see if we can try to find a way to at least chump block for a turn or 2 until we can restabilize. Repurposing Bay again. Alright, sacrificing another one of their cards. Synthesizer again. Not looking good.
Well, this stinks.
Oh boy. Alright, well, I don't think we're going to win this one. But we'll try at least for 1 more turn. But most likely our opponent has more than enough pieces here to overrun us. Whatever their last card is, it probably will stomp us. But I guess we'll just give it this 1 final turn here. So with that, let us put down... How do we do this here? I guess Pathfinding Axejaw? I mean, none of that really matters, but I'll try. Alright. We get to draw another card, and we get to explore. So, I mean, our deck did do its thing, but it was just way too slow with finding those lands. Because look, now we got all of our lands, but it's way too late. Our opponent has more than enough creatures, so I'll just put down the Lore Keeper, and I'll just let our opponent do their thing. Yeah. Alright, opponents. I could chump block you, but you have more than enough constructs for me to just get overrun. Alright, they got their land down. Come on, opponent. Just do your swing. Just being courteous enough where I'm gonna just do her thing. Okay. Okay. That's right, that's right. Ugh. Not necessary, but I mean, I get what they're trying to do. Do their big swing here. We just chump block for no reason, really, because we're just going to lose, but, I mean, it is what it is. Hey, if it's one thing, of course, we've learned now is the only thing that stops our big, bad dinosaurs are bigger, badder constructs in Standard, but, can't hate. They just got out faster than us. And there you have it, everyone. So that was Stompysaurus for you for the Standard format. And you tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? Truth be told, I'm actually really satisfied with how the deck turned out. Despite the fact that it's actually a pretty budget deck, it pretty much just gets the job done because all you're just doing is just keeping it simple. You just put down your creatures, go sideways, and smash away to victory. Having said that, as you kind of saw, our biggest weakness to the deck is decks that can make a lot of big artifact tokens, such as the constructs from Simulacrum Synthesizer, means that you're going to have a bad time if they manage to just outpace you and outrace you so to speak, when it comes to this type of deck. Still, the deck does very well at budget level, so I would definitely recommend this if you're a person that wants to unleash your inner Timmy. Now, for those of you that have stuck around this far into the video, if you still want to see how you can make this deck even better, thanks again for hanging in there, because you are my true fiery friends, and because of that, I'll be more than happy to show you what you can use to invest in this deck to make it even better than it currently is. Now, if you're interested in upgrading this deck, here is what I would recommend for you. While it is tempting to kind of splash into red to go for a Gruul dinosaur deck, we're going to keep this again as simple as possible, and honestly, it still works just as well as a mono green deck. So the upgrades we're going to be looking at is in the 4-drop slot, we'll now be adding Hulking Raptor into it, because this also has this built-in protection of War 2, and at the beginning of your first main phase, you get to add 2 green mana. As for what we're casting with that extra mana, we can get out our Aganosaurus Rex a lot faster, or we can utilize it for a couple of different other creatures, just keep slamming down big creature after creature, then just keep churning through our deck. But the one card, of course, that we want to really add in, because, come on, you cannot say no to this card. It's going to be added in thanks to Foundations, the one and only Ghalta Primal Hunger. In all honesty, because a lot of our creatures have a giant amount of power, this means that Ghalta should have no problem being casted for a much cheaper cost, which puts a massive amount of pressure on your opponent to either take it out or just accept that they're just going to get run over by this awesome Stompy dinosaur. Now, as far as the upgrades to the land base, we're going to trim down a couple of forests, and we'll take out 1 Amonkhet Raceway to make room for a handful of Cavernous Souls here, because this will make sure that control decks out there cannot counter the dinosaurs that we will be casting. And as far as the upgrades to the sideboard, this is again where it's going to be a little bit more, but again, depending on how the meta looks, adjust accordingly. So we're going to have copies of Smuggler's Surprise. This is an awesome 3-in-1 card here. We can either utilize it to mill some cards, dig out some of the creatures we may need or lands. We can also put down maybe, for example, for a super cheap cost of 6 mana, 2 big creatures to then just put immediate pressure on our opponent, or basically it can be used as a protection spell. This means by doing that, we'll then have to trim out a couple of our Cosmic Hungers, but we'll keep a couple copies just in case for some instant spot removal. Innkeeper's Talent here, we'll start making all of our giant dinosaurs that are already big, bigger and bigger with +1/+1 counters, giving them some extra little bit of protection, and just hopefully just being enough to just outrun our opponent in the mid to late game. We'll have copies of Tranquil Thrillback here. I absolutely love this card because it's a 3-in-1 as well, because once this enters, you can pay additional green, and if we do, you can either utilize this as Graveyard Hate, you can use this as Artifact Enchantment Hate, or just help to stabilize with 4 extra life. Speaking of getting more stabilization with some life gain, we'll also have a single copy of Basilisk's Collar here, giving any one of our dinosaurs Death Touch and Lifelink, in case of, again, our opponent is getting a little cheeky with Life Drain. And then finally, to round out our package here, we'll have Tyrannus Rex here, because this is one of our few creatures here in the slot that also can give Toxic to our opponent, giving us an alternate win con, and it protects itself with Ward 4, has haste, has trample, and of course cannot be countered. So this is an amazing finisher in case of our opponent gets a little too cheeky with all of their spot removal. And with that all out of the way, here are my final thoughts that I want to give on the deck. I honestly was not expecting to look at dinosaurs ever again for quite a while, but thanks to Ether Drift, we did get a couple of really key upgrades that definitely makes, even as you saw today, a mono green version of a dinosaur Stompy deck completely viable even at budget level. So if I were to put this another way, if you're a fan of Stompy decks, if you're a fan of trampling over your opponents with big dinosaurs, and if you're a fan of having something that's a little bit off the beaten path when it comes to what the meta is currently playing, then I would definitely say, give this deck a try. And I assure you, when you manage to start casting giant dinosaur after giant dinosaur, you're going to have a lot of fun doing so. You're going to be very surprised at how you can pull this off on the budget. And when you overwhelm your opponent with a bunch of these dinosaurs that are going to smash their way through anything that they have, I assure you, you will definitely not be disappointed. That's all I have for you today. Thanks again for watching, everyone. And just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. Later.